Here's how you can automate your dollar cost averaging strategy with a trading bot. But before we dive into the coding, let me explain why dollar cost averaging is such a great strategy and why a trading bot is super helpful in implementing it. Investing can be incredibly challenging. Even experienced investors who try to time the market to buy at the most opportune moments can still come up short. In reality, when you try to time the market, that means you have to be correct on two occasions. One is buying when the market is low, and two is selling for a profit when the market is up. However, dollar cost averaging is a strategy that can make it easier to deal with the uncertain markets by making purchases automatic. For those who may not be familiar, dollar cost averaging is a smart investment strategy that involves consistently investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of an asset's price. This approach helps to reduce the impact of market volatility and allows investors to accumulate assets over time. In effect, this strategy eliminates the effort required to attempt to time the market to buy at the best prices. By buying regularly in up and down markets, investors buy more shares at lower prices and fewer shares at higher prices. Regardless of the market price, dollar cost averaging allows you to lower your cost per share and reduce the impact of volatility on your portfolios. The entire point of this strategy is to prevent a poorly timed lump sum investment. Beginners and long-time investors can both benefit from this long-term strategy. With this strategy, you also take out the risk of buying at the wrong time. More importantly, in the dollar cost averaging strategy, you need to be able to choose the right assets. For example, you wouldn't want to choose any small cap cryptos that could have the potential of crashing. Rather, you want to pick larger cap cryptos that are more likely to grow over time. For example, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Moreover, this strategy also works well within the crypto market, and it is one of the better long-term strategies that can reduce the market volatility of crypto. Now, the most important part about the strategy is consistency. To use this strategy properly, you have to decide on a fixed time interval for your investments. It could be hours, days, or weeks, or any other period that suits your financial situation. You have to stick to this schedule to be able to benefit from the dollar cost averaging strategy, which means that regardless of where the market is, whether it's at highs or lows, you're still going to be buying at a fixed amount. For example, let's say you have a total dollar amount of $10,000 and want to invest it all into Ethereum at different timed intervals. Let's say the current price of Ethereum is $2,000 and you want to buy one Ethereum. Therefore, you spend 2,000 USD to buy one Ethereum. However, if the price of Ethereum drops to 1,600, you would still spend $2,000 to buy that asset. Instead of just buying one Ethereum, you then buy 1.25 shares of Ethereum. And this strategy keeps going until you've invested all of your money into the asset. Now, what's great about this strategy is that one, you don't have to worry about the market volatility whatsoever. And two, as long as you're buying at fixed intervals, the price per share will most likely be lower than if you just lump sum all of your money into it. Now, here is where a trading bot comes in. Because a dollar cost averaging strategy might stretch over a very long period of time, it's much easier to just set up a trading bot to do all of your automatic buys without you ever having to worry about it. It is very much like set and forget approach. Moreover, the dollar cost averaging strategy also benefits from splitting your investments up into smaller portions to maximize your profits, which is also where a DCA trading bot comes into play. Instead of having to regularly monitor your investments by yourself, you can set up a trading bot to do it all for you. Now, let's dive into the coding. Alright, so once again, like before, you need to make sure that you do have your API and API secrets from the Binance client. Once again, if you're not sure how to set this up, you can check out the video right here where I explain all the tutorials on how you can do this. So very quickly, I'll just go over a little bit of how this bot works overall one more time, just so you understand. So first, we give it the key and the variables. The key will be the name of the bot, and the variables will be separated into the symbol, the amount, and the different buys, and the buy interval that it will buy at. And then this price check function here will be able to get the new price from the Binance exchange or rather it will be called by the price updated class, which will return all of the symbols from the Binance client and the Binance exchange and give you all the symbols so that you can choose which assets you actually want to trade from the Binance exchange. And finally, our main function here will just determine that if the self.interval has run out or that the time is reached, then it will create a buy order to the Binance exchange and it will also reset the interval. Otherwise, it will just subtract 1 second from the time, or if this time.sleep here is different, then it could also be subtracting, let's say, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, depending on how often you want to check the exchange. But for this example, we'll just use 1 second, just so I can show you. And finally, this buy order here will connect to the Binance exchange and also determine how much money you will be buying every single time, and it will place a market buy order to the Binance exchange here. And then after that, we just update our different variables inside the class. And finally, if the self.amount or the self.buys reaches 0, then we can simply stop the bot, which is right here. So to simply check this code, you do need to add a little bit more code just so you can actually run this code. Because right now you have all the different classes set up. All you have to do is just create a way to give them the information and to call the different ones. And one more thing, this is just very helpful when you're testing your different trading strategies, is just that to comment this out so that you're not actually placing the buy order in Binance, rather just running the code to make sure that everything works properly the way you want it to. So just make sure you have that commented out. And now if we try running this, then we should see that, yep, we have the name of the bots and the starting, and then it's bought this much in Bitcoin, and it says that there's $500 left, which is exactly what we want to see. And then this exception right here basically says that after the second buy, it has stopped. So this is a bit confusing, so let me just bump up this buys a little bit more just so we can see it better, and we can just change this interval to even smaller. So this means that it will buy 10 times with 1 second in between. So let's try this one more time. If we run it, we should see, yep, the name of the bot and that it started, and then it's bought this much every single time. And you can see that there are slight changes to the price because obviously it's not going to be the same every time. However, it is going to be buying $100 every single time. So you can see that it is dropping by $100. And after this statement right here, then the bot should stop, which it did. So this is just a very easy example of how you can use coding and the Python and Binance API library to be able to implement your own different trading strategies into your portfolio. So once again, you can change this to whatever parameters you would like, and also you can trade different assets obviously, but this is just used as an example. And there you have it. That's how you can implement your own DCA bot to automate all of your buying. This strategy works great for any beginners or long-term investors who don't have that much time on their hands and just want to set and forget it. This strategy is typically used by investors who have a lower risk tolerance and just want their investments to grow over time. Remember, although this strategy is very risk adverse, there is still always going to be some risk within trading. Make sure you always do your background research and have risk management strategies in place to prevent you from wiping out all of your capital. Once again, this trading bot is just another tool you can add to bolster your portfolio. However, just keep in mind that nothing ever works well perfectly, so you should always know and understand what tools you're working with and what tools you're trading with. If you're interested in more trading strategies that you could implement with trading bots, make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Until next time, happy trading.